I am Nilima Salvi, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, Smriti College of Pharmaceutical Education, Indore. So, today we are going to continue in the topic parenteral formulations of peptide and proteins. So, in this previously we discussed about the different characteristic or detailed study regarding protein and peptide and their different characteristics. So, in continuation with that, today we are going to start with the different approaches or approaches which are available for maximizing the pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic properties of the substance. So, in this there are various approaches which are used. In this, first approach is chemical modification, second approach is formulation vehicles, third approach is mucoadhesive polymeric system, and fourth approach is use of enzyme inhibitors, fifth is absorption enhancers, and next penetration enhancers. So these are the various approaches through which we can deliver the protein and peptide through parenteral route. So as we already discussed into the oral delivery of protein and peptide, that how they work into the body and how we can avoid the first pass metabolism via oral route. So these are the approaches for the parenteral formulations of protein and peptides. So start with the first approach, that is chemical modification. So in this chemical modification we can go for the prodrug approach. Prodrug means the drug which when we will deliver, then after metabolism of that compound, the metabolic product would be active for the response. So that is prodrug approach. So we can go for this prodrug approach for this two things, that is first is to improve enzymatic stability and second is membrane permeation. To enhance the membrane permeability, we can go for this approach and we can improve the enzymatic stability of protein and peptides into the body. When we will deliver the drug directly through parenteral route, that is like intravenous, intramuscular and subcutaneous. So there would be the whole amount or large amount of protein and peptide would be available into the body, and after that, after absorption, when the drug or protein and peptide will get circulate into the body, there would be maximum chances of degradation. So we can go for this prodrug approach, in which as such the drug is inactive. Whenever in body it will get metabolized, then only it will produce active metabolic product, which would be further active for the response. So for this there are two type of chemical modifications are available. First chemical modification is amino acid modification. We can modify the amino acid sequence, and second is hydrophobization, in which we can convert the hydrophobic or the compound into the opposite character. So first approach is amino acid modification. What happens in amino acid modification is that in this we can substitute D amino acid and L amino acid. D and L amino acids को हम substitute करते हैं to alter physiological property of protein. By this substitution of D and L amino acid, we can alter the physiological property of protein and peptides. So example of this approach is desmopressin and D-aminovasopressin. These are the two analog of the vasopressin. So vasopressin as such is a prodrug, and after the first metabolism it convert into the two active metabolite or analog desmopressin and D-aminovasopressin, which are further active into the body. So So this was the first amino acid modification approach under the main heading chemical modification. The second is hydrophobization. In this, what happens? This is important for the lipophilic moieties. Moieties which are lipophilic in nature. So we can go for the hydrophobization. For example, the Nobix insulin by the palmitoyl, the conjugation of insulin molecule to 1,3-dipalmitoyl-glycerol, which contains a free amino acid. So in this conjugation, we are going to conjugate insulin molecule along with the palmitoyl-glycerol. So what would be happen through this? We can approach the hydrophilic and hydrophobic balance into the formulation. It is important to improve the stability against the enzymatic degradation. This conjugation process or this hydrophobization process is mainly important to improve the stability against the enzymatic degradation into the body. Then protease. After this, we had completed chemical modification of the drug. Now we are going to start with the use of enzyme inhibitors. In this, we can use the protease inhibitor or the enzyme inhibitor. Enzyme which is protease. In this, we are going to use protease inhibitor, which will be directly used or co-administered with the protein and peptide. We will administer the protease inhibitor along with the protein and peptide drug delivery system. Then what would happen? This conjugation or this co-administration of inhibitor will alter the environment for the enzyme. Now the stability to suppress the proteolytic activity. After this, there are 4 types of protease inhibitor available, that is aspartate protease, cystinoid protease, serinide protease and metalloprotease. So these were 4 types of protease inhibitor. After that, we can go for the further, like next one is your penetration enhancers. So penetration enhancer are those substances which can be used to improve the penetration efficiency of the protein and peptides, or they can alter the permeability through membrane. So in next video, we will complete with the other approaches such as absorption enhancer and formulation vehicles. Thank you.